Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for May 30, 2025. The Leissner sentenced edition. We begin with that story from Bloomberg. Patricia Hurtado reporting that ex-Goldman banker and partner Tim Leissner received a 2-year sentence for pleading guilty and his help to the U.S. government in the theft and fraud from the Malaysian investment fund 1MDB. Leissner had asked for no jail time, and the department had left the sentencing opening to the judge. So the long and sordid affair of Tim Leissner as part of 1MDB ends. I'm sure we'll have much more on 1MDB. It's the case that will never go away. Next up, in a very troubling story from the New York Times, it reports that the oppressed and suppressed Chinese minority Uyghur people have been shipped literally all across China to work in factories outside Xinjiang. An investigation by the New York Times, Der Spiegel, and the Bureau of Investigative Journalism has uncovered evidence that state-led programs to ship Uyghurs out of Xinjiang are much more extensive than previously known. China has placed Uyghurs in factories across the country that make a wide range of goods used in brand name products around the world, and has done so with little to no visibility to supply chain auditors or custom and borders officials charged with spotting labor abuses and blocking the import of tainted goods. Obviously, this will make their turning up, or rather their discovery, much more difficult. But no surprise that the Chinese government would respond in this manner. It's going to be difficult for the U.S. to continue to police this. Our next story also comes to us from Bloomberg, which found that the European Central Bank Governing Council member Peter Kazimir was convicted of bribery and corruption and fined some 200,000 euros in a ruling that will certainly cause embarrassment to the Frankfurt institution. The court said that if he fails to pay the fine, he will have to serve 1 year in prison. Kazimir said he will appeal and does not intend to resign from his post. So, we've got a convict in the White House, so why not have one on the European Central Bank Governing Council? And our final story comes to us today, once again from Bloomberg. We have a trilogy of Bloomberg stories today. It's an excellent paper. If you don't read the electronic version, you should. Indonesia calls in Singapore oil traders over the Pertamina probe. Indonesian investigators have invited Singapore-based oil traders to meet in the city-state next week as part of a $12 billion corruption probe into the state-owned oil company. And that's the state-owned oil company of Indonesia, not the state-owned oil company of Singapore. The requests were sent out a little bit earlier, and it's going to be interesting to see if these oil traders admit to paying bribes or facilitating the bribes that swept through the oil trading industry in 22 to 24. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.